I had fear of speaking. I didn't know how to relate to people. But when I got into nursing, I quickly realized that you have to speak up for myself. They wanted to show me pepe. Ah, people will set you up. People will do things and put it on you. If you don't know how to speak up and talk for yourself and defend yourself, they will drag you like this, on the mud. Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. If you are new today, my name is Andy. I am a family nurse practitioner. In this channel we talk about healthy lifestyle, we talk about family nursing, we talk about family in general, traveling. So if you think that that's something that would interest you, something that you like, that's your vibe, that's who you are, then hit the subscription button. Let's take this ride together, join the fam, let us have fun. So in today's video, I'm going to talk to you guys about my journey as a Nigerian nurse in America. So if you guys don't know, I am originally from Nigeria. Some of you can tell from the accent. Some of you that follow me for a long time, you already know. So, but if you did not know, now you know. I am a Niger babe. So today I'm going to talk to you guys about how I got here in my journey all the way through and what I have learned through my journey as a nurse in US. So first things first, I'm just going to talk about the general background of how I even got into the US. So let's hit that so that you get a general idea of how I got here. I think that this might help one person or another. If it's your plan or if it's your hope to be here, maybe this might help you. I have my high school friend. One time we were on vacation, we had gone on holiday, and when you go on holiday, everybody go to their own, their own homes. So basically I was home on a holiday. Was I home on a holiday, or we had finished high school? Yeah, I think we had finished high school. We were about to start college, so we had lost contact. Well, anyway, my sister saw her in a market. I think she went to the market in the city, and she saw her and she said, "Oh, hey, how is Andy? By the way, I'm traveling out to United States. Tell Andy to come holla. Tell Andy to come see me because I'm about to travel." So my sister came back. She told me. So of course I went to got the address from me. So I went to hit her up. So when I saw her, we started talking. She told me, "Hey, there's this school that I'm about to go over to. I'm going over there to college. The school is Lutheran College in Iowa. This is my process." So she basically told me the process, how she got to get the visa, and she's going over there. Of course, I want to go. I want to come. Who doesn't want to go to US? So, but I'm thinking, like, I never thought of coming here. I never dreamt of coming here. I'm thinking, how are my parents gonna get that money? My parents didn't have that. I didn't think my parents had money enough to send me to US, and I saw the school fees and all of that. I was like, I don't know. I've never thought of, well, maybe once I've had a daydream of me being in the US and having a nice house with a garden and just, watering my garden. That was just a daydream I had one day on the bed when I was taking a nap, okay? But I never thought it would come into reality because I did not know anybody. I had no family, no one here. I went home, I told my parents about it, and my parents were like, first of all, my dad was like, "You're a young girl. How can you think of going to US and being by yourself? You don't have anybody there. We don't know anybody. We don't have anybody that we can hand you over to them." So my parents were really worried, which is absolutely understandable. I mean, this is their little girl, and not that I was someone that was causing problems. I was a good girl. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying I was not someone that was giving them, problems and all of that. I was a very good child, I think. And there was the money issue. My parents thinking like, how were they gonna get this kind of money? It's a lot of money. So I just went back to I just prayed about it. My father finally agreed. So I went to, of course, I traveled to Lagos to get my visa. Lagos is like pretty far from where I was living, and I stood in line and I watched every single person in front of me getting denied. I was like, oh my god, oh my god, this is over. I was so scared because every single person in front of me was denied of their visa. But when I got there, this lady, she was Caucasian, and she said, I gotta go for my lunch. It's my lunch time. She just asked me, oh, so you're going to study? She asked me a few questions, and then she looked at my documents, and then she told me, you came way too early for your visa. I can't give it to you now, because at that time I didn't have the understanding, because if they stamp your visa, I guess the date starts counting from there. So she said, you came too early. I cannot give you the visa today, but I am gonna give you the visa. I'm gonna approve your visa. I'm gonna take your passport. Come back in 3 months. That's how I got my visa, my people. So anyway, I went back. I traveled back to Lagos 3 months later, and all they did was hand me my visa, and that's how I got to the US. I entered the flight. That was my first time ever entering into a plane. I came here. I arrived at the airport. I'm walking at the airport, all lonely and scared. So when I came here, of course, I didn't have nobody. The school fees was so expensive, so I could not afford to go to school, to continue the school fees after like a year or so. And then I ended up in California. Let me tell you, God is a faithful God. When God tells you to go, that's where I'm sending you. Trust and believe that He's gonna back you up. No matter how bleak things look, no matter how dark things look, when God is involved, I'm telling you, it is going to work out. Because sometimes when I think about my journey, it blows my mind. Okay, because I had nobody. There was a childhood friend that I knew. I bumped into her. She put me up in their house for a little time, for like some months. I stayed with them in California. Then at one of those times, I went with her to one of the Akwa Ibom state things, because I'm from Akwa Ibom. One of the meetings or something they did in California. I went there and I met this lady. She's from my place, so we started talking. When I'm telling you, when God makes, I don't know, this is a testimony on its own. Okay, so I met this lady, right? Just took me in. She said, so we started talking, and she said, oh, your church. I told her that I go to Apostolic. I was a member of the choir. And she started saying, oh my God, one time my mom was sick. That was that same church they took my mom to, and they prayed for my mom. The women were so nice. They took care of my mom. So your mom was part of the people that prayed for my mom, because it was the women in that church that took care of my mom. That was it. So in this woman, if I step outside, you would never know that I never met this woman until that day. She took me in as a daughter. Until today, we still have a relationship. She took me in as her daughter, and she treated me like her daughter. I'm telling you, she taught me how to drive. She took me around looking for a community college to register me in. I lived with her until I moved to Maryland, because where I was staying, school fees, it was just too much. But she put me up for like a year plus, and then eventually I moved to Maryland, where my husband was. We didn't live together, but when I was in Lutheran College, Luther College, when I was in Luther College, there was this program that came up. They call it the nursing assistant program. I did not, I just, heard that they would train you for free, and then you work for them for a year. So I went through that program. I was like, oh, it's a great opportunity. I can make some money. So I went through that program. I got my nursing assistant license through them. I worked for that nursing home, because they came to the school and they presented the thing. So I worked with them for a year. So that's how I got my nursing assistant license. And I did not pay for anything. So I got my license. So when I moved to Maryland, I was able to make money, and when I was able to afford an apartment. So I moved in with that my friend. We ended up staying together, and I started going to school. I got a job. My husband knew someone that hooked me up, and I got my first nursing assistant job. And I started working, and I was paying my school fees as an international school student out of pocket. When I tell you it was expensive, that time I used to make like $800 and every 2 weeks, and then I would take like $700 and pay my school fees, and the rest of the money for the next 2 weeks will be my bills. I'm telling you, that's how I survive. So I just want to tell someone, you're going through it right now. Don't worry about it. Just, if you know what you're looking for, if you have a goal, just stay strong. Things were so hard. It was so difficult, but I thank God, because He's the one that sent me. I was the one sent. He sent me over here. I didn't come by myself, and he stood by me throughout the whole time. So that's how I got into. I was going to community college. It became too expensive. Someone told me about an LPN program. It was like $7,000 then, if I can still remember. But they had this monthly thing where you can pay monthly. So I was working as a nursing assistant, and so I left the community college. I went through that LPN program for a year, and then I became an LPN. So at some point, then me and my husband, we got married. Of course, we didn't have money to get married like in a big to do a big wedding, so we just got married in court. Because trust my dad, I had to send my marriage certificate to my dad that I was actually married. um, so we got married, and I started, going back to school. By then I started having babies, so I was going to school as an LPN and going through my RN up to now, where I am a family nurse practitioner. The journey has not been easy, but it definitely, being in Nigeria molded me to where I am, because coming from Nigeria to a school system where things are so different, the educational system is different, the testing system is different, it was definitely hard, but I pushed through. And when once you have, there was a time I was afraid of speaking because I had an accent. When once you start speaking, people act like they cannot understand what you're saying. They'll be asking, "What did you say? What did you say?" So that thing made me withdrawn back to myself, and I was scared. I had fear of public speaking. So I don't even know how I have a YouTube channel now, because I never dreamt of having a YouTube channel. That's another story, because I was never one to be in front of the camera or to talk. I just want to leave my life behind. How God pulled that out of me is another thing. I just want to touch on the things that I have learned, because I don't want this video to be too long. But I just want to touch on the things that I've learned so far as a nurse in America. I was never a nurse in Nigeria, but being a Nigerian and a nurse here, the things that I've learned and something that could help someone. So I made some notes in case I look down. I'm just looking at my phone to pick up some notes. So the things that I've learned so far in my journey is: number one, you must speak up. Remember I just said that at first I was very withdrawn because of my accent. So I wouldn't speak up. I wouldn't talk too much because I didn't want people asking me questions. So I'll go to school, I'll sit by myself. Like literally, my friends were people that came to me and said, "You don't talk to people," and they will pull me out of me. That's how I made friends. If you didn't approach me, we would never be friends. That's how I was. And people used to think that it was pride, but it wasn't. It was because I had fear of speaking. I didn't know how to relate to people. But when I got into nursing, I quickly realized that you have to speak up for myself. They wanted to show me pepe. People will set you up. People will do things and put it on you. If you don't know how to speak up and talk for yourself and defend yourself, they will drag you like this, on the mud. Nursing made me come out my shell. Nursing taught me that you have to speak up for yourself. You have to defend yourself. I will make a video of just say nursing stories, things that I've encountered. Wow. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Things I have encountered on my journey as a nurse, like the nonsense I have seen as a nurse, the crap, the sabotage, the wickedness, the meanness I have seen as a nurse. Number two, study to show yourself approved. This is directly from the Bible, but I'm telling you, the Bible don't lie. This life, everything that you need is in the Bible. You gotta study to show yourself approved. You cannot wing it in nursing. You cannot wing it in nursing. If you don't know it, you don't know it. If you don't know what you're doing, it will show. And once it shows, people don't respect you. The nurses don't respect you. Your patients won't respect you. Your co-workers won't respect you. Your subordinates won't respect you, because you don't know, and you will be the talk of the season. Okay? So if you don't know what to do, you better learn. You better study. Always study and learn. Be the one person that people will come to ask questions. Don't be the one that they say, that one, she don't know nothing. She don't know what they do. Because I'm telling you, you're going to be among women. You're among women. They talk. Okay? People will take advantage of you if you don't know what you're doing. And the other disadvantage you have is that you are black. As a Nigerian nurse, I'm speaking from my experience. Please, let me put a disclaimer. I'm speaking from my experience, okay? You will get when people first see you, their first assumption is that you don't know what you're doing. That's why I say you have to study to show yourself approved. Because if you're black in this country and then you are African with an accent, when once you start speaking, they already assume that you don't know what you're doing. They already assume that you don't know what you're saying. They're gonna ask, is there someone else? Isn't there someone else that can help? Are you the only one here? Even as a nurse practitioner, I go through it. Okay, so people will be me, but don't get offended because you have condescending patients. Okay, so don't get offended. Just be you, calm and collected, and do your job. And once they see that you know what you're talking about, they withdraw. But if you don't know what you're talking about, my sister is a problem. My friend is a problem. All right, so number three, don't follow the crowd. This is a big one. As a Nigerian, you have a lot of Nigerians, you have other Africans here. People do crappy stuff. I was out. There was a place that I used to work. The stories that I have just from that place, you can write a book. People will punch in for people. People will punch in at 7 p.m. They're supposed to be at work and they don't show up till 9 p.m. And if you follow the crowd, you get sucked into it. I've been at a place where three people were fired at the same time, and three of them did not have no business getting fired together. But because they followed the crowd, they followed each other, they were doing what this one is doing. They were in a clique and doing this and then do it. You'll regret it. All right, number four, do your job. Do your job. Sometimes I've noticed that Africans, it feels like nursing is an easier route, it's an easy place to step in. If you don't like it, it's better not to even do it because you'll regret it. People will set you up. The only way you can get out of it is to prove yourself that you know what you're talking about. And the only way you can do it is the only way you can get away with it is doing your job and making sure you sign. Because in nursing, if it's not documented, it wasn't done. Make sure you dot all your I's and you cross all your T's. Do your job. Do not skip. Do not cut corners. People do a lot of cutting corners and they lose their jobs. Make sure, because first of all, like I said, you're black, you're a target. You're an African, that's double whammy. So the only way you're gonna survive and have peace is when you do your job. Do your job right and do it correctly. Do it the right way. Okay? Number five, take your vacation. That's another thing. I've heard people having heart attacks because of stress. I know that as a foreigner, you come here, you work, 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 work. Please take your time and take your vacation because guess what? If you die, if you get sick, your job will hire someone else and they will replace you within 3 weeks, months. They will replace you. They will just say, hey, yeah, oh my God, she was a nice person. Oh my God, we'll feel so bad. Oh my goodness. And guess what? They'll hire somebody else and they fill your spot. It is not your job. It is not your company. It is a job. It is a means of income. You're not supposed to die there. You're not supposed to die because of your job. I'm telling this most especially to Africans. Take your vacation. You build up vacation, build up vacation, build up vacation, and then you cash out. They pay you on your vacation. Take your vacation, rest, reset your mind, reset your body, refresh yourself so that you can be at 100%. Because if you're not resting, can't even do your job right. You're forgetful, you're tired. Again, I'm not saying that every single place you go to, people are mean, people are bad. I'm just speaking from my experience as an African in nursing here. I've met beautiful, nice, amazing people, amazing co-workers, both Caucasians and black. You will always meet the outliers. You always meet the people that are not nice, both patients, both co-workers, bosses. I have stories about that. But guess what? If you know what you're doing, if you know your job, and you're a nice person, you gotta add that because sometimes we have crappy attitude, we have nasty attitude, you're gonna have problems at work. because nursing is a teamwork. If you're not getting along with people at work, you're going to suffer because you're going to do a lot of things alone. And trust me, this job, you cannot do it by yourself. So you have to be able to be someone that you can work with other people, that'll be cohesive, work with people, work well with others. Okay, so in conclusion, nursing is very fulfilling and rewarding. It is it's great, it's awesome, it's a great feeling. When you come back at the end of the day, you can lay down and say, I did well today. You sit down with someone, you contribute positively in people's life every day. It's a very rewarding thing. Healthcare system in America is nonsense. It's very bad. It's so sad. Sometimes you try to help your patient and you're not able to help them because of the system of the healthcare. You try to you prescribe a medication, insurance denies. It's a very, I don't know, very confusing and crazy system. But at the end of the day, if you're able to help somebody, if you're able to contribute positively into somebody's life, they smile at you, they hold your hand, and they say, "Thank you so much. God bless you." Every single time my patient says, "God bless you," it just does something to me. It goes deep down in my belly. It feels so good. So nothing is very fulfilling, it's very rewarding. Healthcare industry in itself sucks, but helping people makes it all worth it. So I hope this video helped you in one way or the other. If you're thinking of nursing, if you're thinking about going to nursing, you're gonna hear crazy stories. Some people don't like it, some people think it's crazy, but some people love it. It's rewarding. At the end of the day, what makes you happy? What do you if you love caring for people, you're gonna love nursing. If you're in Africa and you're thinking about doing nursing, one way of getting in here is through educational route, like I did. You can look up education school systems that are accepting international students. If you have the money, if you're able to afford it, why don't you try? Apply. Come over. They need nurses over here. Hopefully, this was a great video for you. Until my next video, I love you with the love of God. Bye.